What happens when your biggest show takes too long to come back? Well, Netflix is about to find out. Will it frustrate fans and cause them to care less? Or will it unite them for a shared, highly anticipated cultural moment? Stranger Things became more than a show after its release, turning it into a whole ecosystem, fandom, and cultural event. A nostalgia-fueled, merch-stuffed, and immersive experience universe that's kept people obsessed for nearly a decade. But with Season 5's arguably overdue release, I think it's fair to ask, is Netflix killing the magic or mastering suspense? Are people going to jump back into the fandom, or did Netflix let loyal fans slip through the cracks? Hey friends, I'm Ana The Marketeer, your friendly neighborhood marketeer baddie. I break down the branding and marketing strategies of celebrities, creators, and campaigns so we can both learn and grow our personal brands together. And today we're going to take a deep look into Netflix mega hit Stranger Things and its launch strategy. And most importantly, I'm going to share with you how you as a solopreneur, creator, artist can learn from it all and apply the same principles to your own brand or strategies as we anxiously wait for season 5 to drop. But first, I know many of you watching are not subscribed to my channel. If you've been liking my videos, please hit subscribe right now to support the channel and get weekly breakdowns just like this. Your girl is trying to reach 20K. Every click counts. And if you join my newsletter, Marketeers Memo, you get a free download of my authentic branding checklist with immediate tips to elevate your current branding while staying yourself. Link is in the description below. Also, you can listen to these episodes on Spotify. That link's in the description too. Now, let's break it down. A decade of strategy. When it comes to breaking down Stranger Things launch strategy, it's best to start with what's happening right now. In 2025, Netflix confirmed that Stranger Things Season 5, the show's final chapter, will not be released all at once. So no, unfortunately, you can't binge it all in one weekend like most of us did for seasons 1, 2, and 3. Instead, the Duffer Brothers are experimenting with a staggered drop, a few episodes first, then a mid-season break before the grand finale. At this time, the airing schedule is 4 episodes on November 26th, which is about when this video is gonna drop, 3 more on Christmas Day, of course, December 25th, and a final episode on New Year's Eve, December 31st, really putting their launch around the holiday season. We got Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. Basically, they're turning binge culture into appointment TV again, which is cool and ties into the nostalgia of the show, but the internet has opinions, as it usually does. Fans on Reddit are calling it the dumbest release plan ever, worried it'll kill momentum, but others say it's genius. I am others. A way to stretch out conversation, drive engagement, and give each episode its moment. It's a bold move for Netflix, a platform that's built its identity around instant gratification. So why risk it now? And I believe they've risked it a little bit as well with season 4. Because at this point, Stranger Things is more than a show. It's a flagship brand. In 2022, Stranger Things Season 4 was the platform's most watched show, and it remains one of Netflix's biggest hits ever. So Netflix is using it to redefine how event television works in the streaming era. Let's break down how they got here and why Stranger Things brand and launch hype still works, even when it's making fans wait over 3 years for a final season. Case Study 1, The Perfect Launch, Season 1, The Underdog Story. Back in 2016, no one expected Stranger Things to be a phenomenon. Netflix was still experimenting with original content, and the show had no A-list cast members, no franchise backing, no flashy marketing, but it did have an identity. The Duffer Brothers blended 80s nostalgia, Spielberg-styled adventure, and small-town mystery into something that felt familiar but fresh. The logo screamed VHS era. The synth soundtrack triggered instant memory recall, and the story tapped into every pop culture archetype people loved. Kids on bikes, secret labs, and monsters in the dark. And a few Dungeons and Dragons references too. Netflix didn't oversell it. They let word of mouth do the work. Fans became marketers. Memes became billboards, and suddenly, Stranger Things became a nostalgic cultural reset. So here's the first brand lesson you can learn from Stranger Things. You don't need the biggest budget to launch a phenomenon. You need a clear, ownable aesthetic and maybe even a story that activates nostalgia without imitating it. Case Study 2, The Expansion, Seasons 2 to 3, from cult hit to global IP. Once Stranger Things exploded, Netflix did what every brand does after success. It scaled. Season 2 doubled down on the elements that made fans obsessed: retro design, emotional storytelling, and memorable characters. But it also expanded the universe with new villains, bigger effects, and more complex plot lines. Outside the screen, Netflix built a marketing multiverse. They launched partnerships with Coca-Cola, bringing back new Coke for the first time since 1985, Nike with Hawkins-inspired sneakers, and Lego, Hot Topic, and even Eggo, which saw a 14% sales boost after the show's debut. Suddenly, Stranger Things wasn't just a show, it was a lifestyle and pop culture phenomenon with a cult-like online following that we haven't seen in years. Netflix turned Hawkins into a branded world where every product placement felt like fan service. But here's the genius. Even as the show grew, its marketing never broke the fourth wall. Everything still looked like it existed in that 80s aesthetic. And here's brand lesson number 2 you can learn from Stranger Things. Expansion only works when every new extension fits the same story universe. Growth without cohesion is chaos. Case Study 3, The Hiatus, Seasons 4 and 5, when silence becomes strategy. Then came the challenge: time. Production delays, the pandemic, the actors' schedules pushed the gap between seasons 3 and 4 to nearly 3 years. Normally, that would kill a series' momentum, but for Stranger Things, it can be argued that the absence added mystique. I mean, sure, plenty of jokes have circulated about how the cast of teens and kids, who were all between the ages of 11 and 23 in season 1, are well into their 20s and 30s now when season 4 launched. And this created a ton of criticism online, of course, but Netflix leaned into the scarcity. They dropped cryptic teasers months apart, one showing Hopper's survival in Russia, another with the tagline, "Welcome to California." Each one reignited fan theories, Reddit threads, and TikTok deep dives. And when season 4 finally hit in 2022, it broke Netflix records: 1.3 billion viewing hours and the biggest debut weekend ever for an English language show. Speaking of TikTok, Eddie Munson became a bit of a meme, and heartthrob, the unexpected Chrissy Wake Up remixes took over TikTok. I don't like this, Chrissy Wake Up! And beyond that, the music became marketing for season 4. Like, we all know Kate Bush's Running Up That Hill, that hit #1 again. 37 years after its release, proving nostalgia still sells if you use it right. The scene it was used in became one of the most talked about scenes, with content creators filming their reactions to the scene and posting breakdowns. So with season 5 on the horizon, many are wondering what's next. How do you sustain interest when the end is near? Netflix and the Duffers answer: you slow it down. The split release gives fans room to theorize, discuss, and make every drop a mini event. Basically, it's a hybrid between Netflix binge model and other streaming services like HBO's weekly suspense playbook and traditional cable television. And yes, it's risky, but it's also smart, especially as they're getting all of the cast members to rewatch the seasons 1, 2, 4 as we wait for season 5, reigniting the interest and intrigue of the Stranger Things fandom. And that's brand lesson number 3 for you. When your product already has cultural momentum, sometimes less speed equals more engagement and hype. In case study 4, the ecosystem, fan experience as brand extension. So here's where Stranger Things really breaks the rules. Most shows end when the credit rolls, but Stranger Things continues. Netflix built physical and digital ecosystems around the story. For example, Stranger Things The Experience, a touring interactive exhibit where fans walk through Hawkins and face the upside down. Video games and VR simulations that expand the lore. And merch collabs with major brands, from makeup lines to themed restaurants. These touchpoints keep the audience emotionally invested between seasons, effectively turning the fandom into a self-sustaining marketing machine. In branding terms, Stranger Things became a transmedia franchise, the holy grail of modern storytelling. And here's another brand lesson for you. When your audience starts marketing your story for you, that's not luck. That is brand loyalty. Before we jump back in, I want to take a quick moment to thank Brevo for sponsoring today's video. Have you ever watched a big brand rollout, like Beyonce updating her website at 1 a.m. with a surprise album, or Rihanna dropping a Fenty campaign through email, SMS, and social media all at the same time, and wondered, okay, but how? Here's the secret sauce: automations. Their team set up entire systems in advance to create those clean, flawless, strategic rollouts. And with Brevo, you can do the same without the 50-person team, huge budget, or secret tunnel under Madison Square Garden. You can set up flows that welcome new subscribers, send reminders, nurture leads, follow up automatically, and even segment people based on what they click, all without touching a single button after you set it up. Like, imagine someone signs up for your freebie. Brevo can automatically send them a welcome email, tag them, segment them, and follow up later with something that's actually relevant to them. And that's how you create personal brand experiences that feel clean, intentional, personal, and effortless. So if you want to automate parts of your marketing strategy that drain your time, your soul, your energy, you can try Brevo at get.brevo.com/Ana and use my code ANA, ANA, to get 50% off your starter and standard plans for the first 3 months. Again, that's get.brevo.com/Ana, my code for 50% off, ANA. Let automations do the heavy lifting so you can stay in your creative era. Now let's get back to the video. Branding lessons. Summarizing everything here, what can we really learn as marketers, creators, artists, or business owners from the Stranger Things genius decade-long launch strategy that led us to this moment as season 5 is about to launch? Number 1, control the pace of attention. Netflix's binge model built its empire, but Stranger Things proves that sometimes anticipation, as well as going back to tradition, can be more powerful than instant payoff. When you drip feed value, your audience leans in. For instance, Wednesday season 2 premiered on Netflix in August and September 2025. It also had a staggered 2-part release. Viewership surpassed 50 million in 5 days, making it a massive hit. For brands, that means stagger your storytelling. Tease, reveal, reward. Don't drop everything at once. Think of your next launch as your series finale. Your goal isn't just views, it's conversation. 2, nostalgia never dies, but it must evolve. Nostalgia is a cheat code for emotion, but it can't be static. Stranger Things refreshes its nostalgia every season with new music, new aesthetics, and new generations discovering the same magic. If you're leaning into retro vibes or throwback content, evolve it with your audience. Don't recycle the past, reinterpret it. 3, collaborate without compromising. The Stranger Things and Nike or Coca-Cola collabs worked because they made sense in the story. Too many brands force partnerships that feel like ads. Your collabs should feel like Easter eggs, not interruptions. 4, use scarcity to build demand. Long gaps between seasons can be deadly unless you make silence strategic. Netflix turned the wait into part of the experience. Theories, promos that involve the entire cast inviting fans to rewatch seasons 1 to 4 with them to build momentum, interactivity, and anticipation. In your brand, you could do this too. Limited drops, time-gated offers, or exclusive preview. Scarcity signals value. 5, endings are opportunities. The final season is always a brand's biggest test. How you close determines what legacy remains. Netflix is betting on emotional closure, nostalgia payoffs, and community participation to keep Stranger Things alive long after it ends. For your brand, endings, whether it's a campaign, product, or launch, aren't conclusions. They're transitions into the next story. And 6, give the audience a role. The Stranger Things fandom keeps the brand alive between seasons through theories, edits, and memes. Your brand should do the same. Don't just create for your audience, create with them. Give them tools to participate, remixable content, challenges, or insider perks. So what's Netflix's biggest risk here? Well, releasing Stranger Things Season 5 in parts could frustrate fans, but it could also bring back something streaming killed: the shared cultural moment. I tend to think the latter is true, and the staggered release of Season 4 of Stranger Things and Season 2 of Wednesday kind of proved that already, as well as the staggered release of Love is Blind. So they've already proved this format can work and does work and leads to cultural conversations. Season 5 promises long episodes, roughly 2 hours each, and an intense finale. Is it worth the wait? Probably. Many are looking forward to the revival of a bygone "did you watch it yet" era. The group chats, the cliffhanger debates, the counting down the days until the next episode drops. And I know I'm a big part of that when it came to Love is Blind for the last couple of seasons. Me and my friends talking in the group chats, sharing everything, waiting for the next episodes to drop. It is definitely something we missed from when we were younger and kids that we're so happy to have back, because it just creates this like shared language between everyone and these shared memes that everyone gets and understands. Because truly, at the end of the day, Stranger Things became more than a nostalgic show for everyone. It's now a whole fandom community. And truly, that's what every brand is really chasing. So whether you're launching a show, a product, or a campaign, just remember this: you don't just need attention, you need anticipation. So you know what I'll be watching on November 26th. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, share with a friend. If you like this video, you can subscribe to Marketeer's Memo, links in the description. You can follow me on IG and TikTok at Ana The Marketeer. Until next time, Marketeers, stay imaginative, stay original, and most importantly, stay you. Do 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 do.